Focus Radio.
Welcome to Black Focus, the show designed with our community in mind, where we focus on our issues, developing our solutions, using our voices. Central Arkansas, surrounding areas, and the nation. Get ready. Black Focus starts right now. Phone lines open at 855-525-5683. So here's your host, David W. Coleman and Robert Webb.
All right, what's up? How is everybody doing out there? Hey, this is Dave Coleman on Black Focus Radio. We've been gone for like a minute, man. You know, we ain't been here since, the chickens came home to roost, and then they had babies, and them babies came home to roost. But we back for a minute, okay? How y'all doing? I hope y'all had a happy Indigenous Peoples Day. I did. That's what I call Thanksgiving, Happy Indigenous People Day. I had a fantastic holiday weekend. You ever have so many people over at your house you ready for them to get the hell out? No offense, I love all my people. Sam, Dwayne, Aaron, of course, my son and my daughter-in-law was here, Achille and Sonetta. God, there were little babies, Antoine, all of them. Michelle, my mom came over. I got to feed her. But man, I'm going to tell you about, and then, some of them stayed like the whole weekend. When that last person left yesterday, I was like, yes, get the hell out. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Don't be trying to say, oh, man, that's terrible. That's terrible. No, it isn't. I mean, look, I'm an old fogey, okay? Now, I'll admit it. I'm 58 years old. I have no little bitty children underfoot. I have no grandchildren, although, so my step-grandchild was there. Cody, I love him, Cody Richardson. I mean, he's 5.5 years old. He's a dynamo. I love him. But when they all finally left, I was like, man, I'm glad they gone, man. I can have my house back. You know what I'm saying? But I had some fun times. I got to meet my daughter-in-law for the first time. I got to cook for her. And by the way, if you didn't see, I think I posted it in my story. That big-ass turkey that I cooked, I smoked it. Oh, it was divine. I brined it for a day in salt and sugar and rib rub and rib dust. Just stuck it in some water and just put all them seasonings in it and just let it sit. Man, that made that breast so juicy. We all love those juicy breasts. That didn't come out right. I'm sorry, I'm having fun. But, I mean, the breast was so juicy, and then the thighs and the hindquarters. And okay, I'm stopped. And some of y'all may be getting excited. I get excited about a beautiful turkey. Okay? I do. All right? So, then they had all these fixings, and cakes, and pies, and homemade rolls. I always love it when I cook my rolls for my mom, because I always like to ask my mom, hey, Mom, how the rolls? And if she don't criticize me, that means I nailed them. I nailed them. Now, that recipe has been in our family, man, I would probably say they're icebox rolls. And by the way, I gave some to JC and Hunt got some, and that icebox rolls recipe has probably been in my family. I'm 58 years old, okay? So as far as I know, that roll recipe has probably been in my family for 100 years. I'm not exaggerating, okay? Because if I extrapolate how old I was when I was born, and as it relates to my mother's age, and then given the fact that I'm sure she was making them for years, my mom and her sisters all had a specialty item, but it was always those rolls that everybody asked for that my mom sold, those icebox rolls that I'm looking forward to handing them down to my son. Okay? So that roll recipe has been in the family for at least 50 years. No, it's been, I'd say close to 100 years. I'd say at least 75. You know. So I had rolls, and of course, I didn't make cinnamon rolls this time around. I think I'm gonna go home. I've got some leftover dough, and I think I'm gonna make cinnamon rolls this evening. Yeah. That's the ticket. I think I'm gonna make cinnamon rolls this evening. So I had a great time. As you can see, I'm really hyped. I'm feeling good. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I did very little news this weekend. On purpose. Number one, I was cooking. I was listening to jazz. You know, I'm a big jazz lover. My first official, well, it wasn't even a radio job, it was an internship, was at WSMS 91.7 in Memphis as a jazz DJ. So I listened to jazz, I cooked all weekend, enjoyed my relatives, and that's all I did. So I didn't do a lot of news. I posted some things. So if you were following me, you did see some posts. I'm always going to post, man, okay? Hey, have you seen this new thing? Have y'all gotten this yet on Facebook? And we'll get to Black Facts here in just a moment. But have y'all gotten this new thing here where Facebook will tag you if they deem that there's something that's fake news? Have you seen that? Let's take a break. We'll talk about that in a moment when we return. And we'll come back with Black Facts.
Who done it? The butler done it. The Furniture Depot.
Butler Furniture Depot is your back-to-school headquarters. All college students, fraternities, and sororities get a two-piece living room set for only $3.99, or take advantage of our four-piece living room special, which includes sofa, love seat, chair, and ottoman, for only $5.99. Quantities are limited.
Who done it? The butler done it. The Furniture Depot.
Or what about an extra thick queen-size mattress, full or queen size, for only
I had a great weekend, man. I'm like,
bedroom set for
man.
$4.99, or a
I was tired as hell.
for only $1.99.
All that cooking.
Huge selections and savings are going on at Butler Furniture Depot, your back-to-school headquarters.
Call 562-8333 for directions. Who done it? The Butler done it.
En Butler Furniture Depot hablamos español.
Who done it? The butler done it. The Furniture Depot.
Hi, this is Alvin from Habibi's 4317 East Broadway in North Little Rock. We still have the green top at your very next stop. The same great service, but more of it. Give us a call, 501-663-1553 or 664-2992, or call our toll-free number, 1-877-HABIBI-1. Diapers, pull-ups, hospital beds, wheelchairs, Simply Fit, diabetic supplies, underpads, and more. Your durable medical supply center.
Hi, I'm attorney Deodis Thompson from the Thompson Law Firm, and I want to help with your legal matters. Whether it's criminal defense, bankruptcy, personal injury, or family law, I want to help you. I can be reached at 501-503-5095. Don't face your legal issues alone. You need an attorney whose primary objective is to provide you with the best legal representation. Our office address is 415 North McKinley, Suite 710 in Little Rock. I'm attorney Deodis Thompson, and I want to provide you with the best legal representation.
right, welcome back to the show. Joining me on the show right now is Robert Webb. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
What's up, Black?
How was your Thanksgiving? How was your Indigenous Peoples Day?
Hey, man, it was Thursday.
Or how was your White Genocide Day?
It was Thursday.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Did you eat?
Yeah, I ate a little bit. My sister cooked, man. My sister cooks. She
Did
cooks
you like
all
bring
day.
something, or did you just show up? One of them that just show up to eat?
Nah, man, I just threw a little something in the teal.
Okay, you one of them that's throwing. What you throw in? What, $5.95?
Nah, it was actually $2.50.
$250? Oh, what, $250, man?
No, $2.50.
Oh man, man, that would barely buy a can of cranberry sauce.
Hey, man, I'm a big spender, baby. What can I say?
But I don't actually.
Hey, man, but you never answered my question.
I don't
I've been
eat,
trying to get.
I don't eat
try to
cranberry
get
sauce.
out
I
of it.
make my own.
Don't try to get out of it, man.
Out of what?
Where my rolls at? I heard you talking about you gave JC some, you gave Hunt some. What's up, dog?
They actually purchased them.
Oh, now you gonna say no? You said gave.
They purchased.
Now you said purchase.
You know, yeah, they purchased.
Man, don't make me come.
I'm
across
open
this.
for purchases. I told people before. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're listening, you need to try these rolls, man. So if you want to get some, you need to hit me up for Christmas. Although you better hit me up because I'm liable to be somewhere at Christmas. But I had a fun weekend, man. I had a lot of people.
What'd you do, man?
You know, I had my son and daughter-in-law were here. That was the first time I met my daughter-in-law. You know, so I got to hang out with them and, you know, see what she was all about. Gorgeous young lady, beautiful. Of course, my son, you know, it runs in the blood. We always pick dimes. In fact, that dimes
Oh, Jesus.
kind of migrate to us. So, you know, I was concerned early on that
You dime pickers.
you know, I can't help it. You know,
God.
couldn't help it if I wanted to. Couldn't help it even if I could. You know.
That sounds like a song right there.
I want to hear it goes. Inside joke there, y'all might get some of that because I heard that in Living Color, by the way, it's supposed to be coming back for 25 years. Can you believe it's been 25 years since In Living Color? That's just amazing, man.
That's crazy.
So one of the best all-time comedy shows in the history of television. Because when you look at what came out of In Living Color,
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, right?
all of that talent is simply amazing.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, Tommy Davidson,
Tommy Davidson. What's the white guy, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, David
Jamie
Allen
Foxx.
Greer.
Yeah, I forgot about David Allen Greer.
Then you throw in.
Well, you could pretty much say that show made them because before
Oh,
that,
yeah.
they were
Akil Talima, of course. She played the mother for Raven on That's So Raven.
Oh yeah. I forgot about her. She
Yeah,
was
that's
on
what
that.
I'm saying.
Jennifer Lopez. She was a dancer
Jennifer
on that.
Lopez. You look at.
I'm trying to think of who else.
Well, I mean, you can't forget about all of the Wayans.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so it's
You
just,
had about 300 of them.
yeah. So it's just amazing, you know, how that talent was right there. So anyway, in fact, I think it was responsible for changing halftime for the Super Bowl, because if you remember, I remember one year that they put the show on during the Super Bowl halftime.
Yeah, that's when the Cowboys was in the Super Bowl, baby.
Ooh,
Don't be a hater, Blue. Don't be a hater.
Who?
Don't hate right now.
you
Don't hate
just,
right
you just
now.
ruined my memory.
Don't hate right now. Don't hate right now.
Did they lose last week?
We're not talking about sports day. We're talking
We
about.
didn't.
We're talking about. And by
okay.
the way, to your point, I really didn't. I really wasn't news savvy this week.
Yeah, I wasn't. I did it on purpose. I mean, sometimes you have to just kind of, I mean, with the intensity that I follow news, I mean, I'm like, "Grr," you know, and sometimes I have to pull back. And this weekend, I didn't plan it that way, but I mean, I started cooking Tuesday night. I was actually out on the grill, smoking the turkey, and it was, you know, and I had this clear liquid stuff. All I know that the writing was in Spanish. I couldn't pronounce it.
Moonshine.
No, that would be in redneck. This was in Spanish, and you know, I just kept drinking it, and you know, I had a few, you know, glasses of Kool-Aid, and you know, I just had a wonderful weekend. So anyway, so a lot of stuff to talk about this. We got to get caught up on. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But before we do that, we still have to do Black Facts. Well, today's Black Facts. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks, a black seamstress, was arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white man on a Montgomery city bus. Her arrest sparked the Montgomery bus boycott, a pivotal moment in civil rights history. To commemorate the incident, the city of Montgomery is unveiling a new statue of the civil rights pioneer. The statue will be unveiled Sunday, well, that was yesterday, at Montgomery Plaza, Court Street Fountain, 64 years after the arrest. In addition to the statue, there will also be 4 granite markers to honor the plaintiffs in Browder versus Gale, the landmark case that ruled segregation in Montgomery on Montgomery buses unconstitutional. The Civil Rights Memorials are a partnership among the city and county, the Alabama Tourism Department, and the Montgomery Area Business Committee for the Arts. By the way, beautiful statue. And thank you, Miss Rosa. Although you weren't the first, you were just the cutest.
Let's give a shout out to Bernadette Colvin.
And who is Bernadette Colvin?
She was the first.
Yeah, I know. When you do that, you should expound on who that is. Some people may not know that. But the story goes is that Bernadette
Was pregnant.
yeah, and she didn't look the way she wanted.
She wasn't wide enough.
She wasn't light enough. So they chose Rosa Parks. But beyond that, but you know what it really says to me is that they strategized. This is what I've been trying to tell people all along here. If we're going to move some type of movement forward, we got to strategize. We just can't wantonly go out there and say, hey, look at us. We want this. We want this. We want this. We want this. What do you want? Oh, no. But we want this. We want this. We want this. That's what we do now. And then people say, look at them damn fools out there, man. So they strategize about how to get this done. And that's what we have to start doing if we're going to move this forward. Hey, LaTanya, how you doing? Let's see, about time they gave those other women credit. You're exactly right. She was pregnant
They
by
give her credit.
She was pregnant by a married man.
Dave ain't never mentioned her.
Who?
Bernadette Colvin. You ain't never mentioned. No, you have not, Dave.
We have had her on Black Facts
When, Dave?
a while back, about a year ago, sir.
I don't remember that day.
Was it the day you were here?
Is that shade, Dave?
No.
Are you throwing shade?
Oh no!
Are you throwing shade?
Me, blah,
Dave
blah.
throwing shade. Was you here, dog?
But yeah, because we also mentioned the 10 Little Rock 9 instead of the 9 Little Rock 9. There was a 10th one as well for that. So,
Oh, did you mention them too?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. But Bernadette Colvin, hers was a little bit different. She was on a Greyhound bus, so that might have something to do with it. She was on a Greyhound bus, and it wasn't an actual city bus. So she was. So when they make the reference, they say she was the first to sit on what they call it, not international, but what am I trying to say, Dave?
Interstate bus?
Interstate bus. That's it. She was on the interstate bus.
Okay.
Good looking out, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
It's always good.
Okay. And by the way, LaTanya said Bernadette was pregnant by a married man.
Yeah, if that's the case, boy, we wouldn't have nobody doing nothing nowadays.
Yeah, same old. Ain't nothing changed.
What a
But
wonderful
anyway.
world we live in.
That's our Black Fact for today.
Oh, we didn't finish it.
Keep listening to Black Focus Radio for more dynamic Black facts, our culture, our history, our people on JournetRadio.com.
And don't forget, you can sponsor Dynamic Black Facts right here on JournetRadio.com. Still got time to advertise for Christmas. Call me up. I got a neat little package for you. Just need to hear from you. And we'll try to put something together for you to get some of your products sold. So, so you didn't watch much news over the weekend.
No.
I didn't watch much news over the weekend.
I didn't watch much, but I read a couple of good. But most of the stuff I read, but I read some stuff though.
Well, I mean, I'm always gonna dip. I'm gonna dip and dabble, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I was trying to. I didn't go shopping. I was trying to see what would happen with all you crazy folks, and I didn't see anything crazy as far as Black Friday is concerned. I'm curious to see how many people spent money at black businesses. So
You need me to answer that for you?
not many, you know.
None.
So, but we went up to K Hall and Sons and bought so many damn greens. It's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, that's probably why if y'all got up there late, y'all didn't have any. Cause we bought them all. Yeah.
You bought them out.
Ain't shoot, man. We bought up some greens, and I forgot I smoked some beef ribs. Oh, divine!
You know what? I really don't need you in here talking about what you did this weekend. If you ain't bring no plate.
Hey, dude.
If you ain't bring no
Let
plate.
me tell you something.
You
Let me
ain't
tell
bring
you
no
something.
plate. You ain't got
Let
no
me
plate.
say.
Ain't
So,
no plate in the
okay, so let me give you the
Ain't no plate in the fridge.
let me give you the age, and I'm going to answer that question of the people that were at my house. My son and his wife, they're mid 20s. A 30-year-old, another 26, two more 26-year-olds.
left.
Exactly. You get that right? And I'm not even finished yet.
You should have put me a plate in the mic.
It was like, Dad, can we take some of this stuff back? What y'all taking back? I want some turkey. I mean, my turkey was like 20 pounds. It was huge. I smoked a big turkey.
How much you have left?
Not much.
You know the one thing I want today?
What?
The one thing I got into craving for is a ham sandwich with some sandwich spread.
No, mine is check this out, a turkey Portuguese sausage
The hell's this?
sandwich.
I don't know about that. You way over my head.
My son sent me some Portuguese sausage from Hawaii.
Really?
I'm gonna bring you some. Okay, I got some. I'll
You gonna
bring.
bring some damn Portuguese sausage? Something I don't know nothing about.
You have to expand your horizon.
I love the way you do that. I love the way you do that.
You do.
Try to fix it up. You gotta expand.
You have to.
You gotta come out that
You
box.
never heard me talk about the Portuguese sausage?
No.
Oh gosh.
No.
When I came back from Hawaii last year, did I not tell you about the Portuguese sausage?
No, I don't remember you telling me that.
Remember what I brought?
Very selfish of you.
Well, I probably didn't because I only had 3 logs and I didn't want to share it. But I
See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
But he sent me 5 pounds. And I'm gonna tell you, it is the best sausage. I mean, I'm gonna bring you a roll, a half roll, and let you check it out. I'll bring it to you tomorrow.
Man, you're killing me.
I'm serious. You'll like it. And then what I do is I'm gonna actually make some remember when I talked about the Portuguese ravioli, sausage ravioli?
I don't remember you talking about that one.
I make ravioli out
I
of it.
remember you. Yeah, I do remember that now. I remember
Yeah, so that's what I made it out of, that sausage.
All right, but you didn't share, man.
You know,
just selfish for no damn reason.
I'm not selfish. It's just that when I cook, it goes. It's not much, especially if I do like a gourmet thing, like that Portuguese ravioli. Oh my God, it is simply
You
wonderful.
should be hooking your boy up, man.
All right, so I'm gonna bring you some. I'm gonna bring you some of the sausage and let you try it. And then I'm also gonna probably this weekend. Well, I might do it this week. Make some Portuguese ravioli. So there you go. So, but I spend a lot of time thinking about I'm thinking about buying a new tablet. Thinking about it.
A new tablet.
Yeah, a Galaxy tablet.
I need a tablet, man.
I'm thinking.
I'm gonna get an iPad though.
Well,
I'm an i guy.
I got an iPad coming,
Yeah, I'm an Apple guy.
but I mean, I'm not an Apple person, but it's coming because of some type of thing with my phone. It's like a freebie.
Right.
So I'm going to take it. But everything interface that I have, I'm Samsung. So the iPad is not going to interface with all my stuff. So I'm thinking about buying a tablet. So that's kind of what I did this weekend.
I won't hold it against you.
You know. Well, I mean, you iPad, y'all ain't doing it but paying for junk. You paying
Why you got insult?
because you paying 20 to 30% more for the same product, and all of that crap is made out of the same material. But I got an Apple. Well, you are a sucker.
You hurt my feelings, Dave.
I'm just being real with you. I'm the ex-computer tech here. I remember when all the hard drives, when the place in Thailand flooded that made all the hard drives, and nobody could get hard drives. This was about 7 or 8 years ago. And people said, well, I'm going to go get an Apple. They don't have these problems. Well, go you right ahead, go, dog. Go get your Apple. Dog, go. Oh, well, we've got like a a 6-month hold on shipping. Well, why? Because we're out of hard drives. Duh! All this stuff is made. Okay.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm hating on Apple, Tanya. They're robbing y'all blind.
They just a hater straight up.
There is no way I would have gotten anything Apple unless it was free. And this iPad is free.
They really?
No, I don't. I'm not buying into that suckerish.
Okay, I dig it.
I'm just y'all go ahead.
I like Apple.
Why?
I don't
Why?
know. I can't explain it.
Okay, so that's dumb.
I'm drinking the Apple Kool-Aid.
Okay,
I don't know what to
that's
say.
dumb.
I'm drinking Apple Kool-Aid.
That's dumb.
I'm
Would
drinking
you
Apple
drive your
Kool-Aid.
truck? Why? The brand of truck you got is what? Why you drive your truck?
It's a heavy Chevy, baby. What you mean?
Okay.
Heavy Chevy.
Okay.
And no, seriously. The reason I use the iPad, Apple anyways, because I just like the convenience that they offer me. And most of the.
By the way, Tanya, if you want some, I ain't giving all my damn sausage away because my son is getting ready to
Tanya, you
leave
can't get no
Hawaii.
sausage, dog, till I get my sausage. Let me have
Okay,
that
my
conversation.
son is about to leave Hawaii, and I won't have access. This is only sold in Hawaii, okay? But if you want some sausage, Tanya,
Hey, that's right. This was your first holiday with the couple. How was that?
I just told you, my son. What are you listening to?
I know, but I'm saying this is the first one. I didn't. So how was it? I mean,
It was great.
Did you give her your stamp of approval?
Not yet.
You worse than a woman. You know that, right?
I mean, I gotta see some
You
things.
worse than a woman.
And if she give me a grandson, now we could talk.
You worse than a woman. Jesus.
I'm just saying.
Well, she gave you granddaughter.
We'll talk soon.
Change your name to Dave Wong Soo.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. But no, I had a great time with my daughter-in-law, and we discussed the grandson thing, and
Okay.
she thought I couldn't cook. This is like the second time my son has brought somebody to dinner, and actually the last time was Thanksgiving dinner, and she thought I couldn't cook, and then she left home with sacks. She left with sacks.
Really?
Taking them home.
You should have told her she can't take no sacks. She was
so-
doubting your skills, but
So I'm just saying. So you like the operating system better. You don't even know nothing about no operating system.
who's that, Tanya?
Tanya.
Yeah, that's what we like, T.
Yeah,
Tanya,
what
that's what we like.
Robert sure as hell don't know what he talking about. Come on, man. Y'all blow that smoke up somebody else's butt. So you paying it 20 to 30 to 40% higher just because you like the operating system? Yeah, right. Okay. Anyway.
You're such a hater, man.
I'm just saying. But
hate today does not look good.
But I'm gonna have one because, like I say, it's a free thing.
I got you. Roll it out, player.
So
Roll
I'll
it
use
out.
it, but I am thinking about buying a tablet. I am seriously thinking
I
about
would
a Galaxy
suggest
tablet.
you get you a Apple tablet.
Why would I do that?
I
And
would
I'm
not
gonna.
waste my money on the cheaper brands when you can have the quality of an Apple.
Okay.
Dave Coleman.
All right. 855-525-5683.
Dave, I can't believe you just trying to dismiss me, Blair. You
Is the
just trying
number.
to dismiss me.
I'm just saying. Let's see.
Negro, please. All right, moving on. Let's talk about this. Man, that's terrible. But man, you got to start reading monetary policy. That's pretty interesting.
What is monetary policy?
So monetary policy, it just pretty much tells you about what's happening with money all over the world. You know, Fed rates, stock markets. I mean, because we don't, I'm just starting to learn how connected we are, financially anyway. So yeah, start checking those out. They're pretty good.
I met a lady, and I've got a card somewhere. I'm going to follow up with her. A sister, by the way, who has set up investment groups to invest in the Chinese stock market.
Really?
And I can't think of the sister's name. I met her by chance.
What kind of return
She's been getting pretty decent return.
Really?
And she and another group that's outside the city actually do that. So, and by the way, one I didn't tell my son, it's funny you bring that up, is what I'm giving him for Christmas for their wedding anniversary, because we'll be going to Memphis, not the anniversary, but the official reception next month. This month.
Is he back in the States?
He'll be back in the States December 23rd. So he's only going to be there for 2 more weeks.
Where will he be stationed at?
He's going to go to San Angelo, Texas for 3 months for school, and then he's going to be stationed in Maryland. So I'll be going to Maryland.
So he'll be in Bethesda?
somewhere up in that area. He can't tell me because he's a
He's
spook.
going to the CIA. Uh-oh.
He's,
Uh-oh.
he's let me say he's not officially a spook, but
He's on his way to being a spook.
he's spookish. Okay.
Spookish.
So I don't know what he does. He doesn't tell me what he does.
So you don't know his POS, none of that. That's pretty cool.
He has won some. He has gotten awards from the NSA. Who was the head of the NSA? Who has actually come to Hawaii to shake his hand and give him awards. So he's going to be a spook. He's not saying that, but he's heading that way. So anyway,
Navy SEAL.
yeah.
So he could be like the dude on Person of Interest. He would kill people with his bare hands.
No, he actually does stuff on computer screens. I think. I'm assuming he's like the guy who can erase you digitally.
I guess that's still a good thing.
I don't know that's to be true.
I don't want to be out drinking with him. I want to be able to lose some butt, man.
You got to go pay. You get ready to pay your bill, and all of a sudden your card
Your car don't work no more, right? Yeah, I like that
He's
too. I like
that kind of person.
I like that. But,
As far as I don't know that to be true, but I'm just trying to. Me with my mind, I'm trying to put stuff
I know
together.
you're trying to put it together.
And he's like, Dad,
Dad, you'll never get it.
he ain't gonna talk to me.
Dad, you'll never get it.
And I don't try to press him on it anyway, so it's not for me to know. So,
I'm too deep in this game, Pops. You'll never get this.
But anyway, 855-525-5683. Let's see. Black Friday shoppers spent a record $7.4 billion in the second largest online sales day ever. So that tells you right there that nobody's boycotting Walmart or any of these other places. Y'all were out there spending money. So I guess that's a good thing. I'll admit I don't participate in Black Friday because my ancestors already have. But as I said, I am looking for a tablet, so I'm probably going to buy a tablet today. Let's see. Latanya says I got a projector deal so the kids could watch movies in the backyard during the summer. You know what? I just love Tanya. She's just so creative. That's pretty cool. You ought to sell popcorn and invite me and Robert over. Or fire up the barbecue grill. I might bring some rib rub.
Something.
But people spend money this weekend, man. Let's see. Adobe still predicts an even larger Cyber Monday, which is today, estimated sales of $9.4 billion. And Small Business Saturday has taken in about $470 million as of 9 a.m. Eastern Time, on pace to set top $3 billion. So this weekend has been very lucrative, and many of you all participated in it one way or the other. And, you know, it is a good time to get some deals. But let me tell you something. I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. I know y'all want all this stuff to get for Christmas, and, you know, I buy this stuff because there are some good deals, but I typically wait until after Christmas. That's why I'm debating on this tablet that I'm buying. This is a little tip I do, especially in the electronic industry. They're going to try to dump that stuff after Christmas. You will be able to get tons and tons of great deals, especially electronics. I'm just saying. But I don't know. I think I want my tablet. I think I do. So anyway, 855-525-5683 is the number. How was your Thanksgiving? How was your Indigenous People Day? How was your White Genocide Day? All of that combined. Of course, as I said, I had a great time. Life still goes on. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Let's see here. By the way, be sure to start paying attention to Vans. Somehow or another, over the weekend, 2 girls, ages, I want to say 15 and 16 in Texas, disappeared. They were sisters. Start paying attention. Okay? This human trafficking is real. I don't know how you could kidnap 2 girls, let alone 1 girl, let alone 2, but apparently it happened in Texas over the weekend. You got to start paying attention, folks. All right. And I saw something where the new thing is that they are zip tying your windshield wipers when it's raining. And when the lady gets out to fix the windshield wipers, they drive up and grab her. So just pay attention. If you're not comfortable, if you're concerned about what's going on around you, just be careful. That's all I'm saying, because there are a lot of crazy people out there. Did you get an opportunity? Let me tag you on this, Robert. I posted some quotes from Dr. Francis Cress Welsing.
I saw that. Yeah, you emailed them to me.
Oh, did you see them? Okay, good.
I didn't get to read them. Though.
You need to go out and read them. Okay. And by the way, NBC News did an interesting report. Don't be confused about why evangelicals love Trump. What do you think it is, Robert? What do you think the reason why this person is so loved by evangelicals?
Because he was sent by God.
No, it's actually about race.
What? Because they had black folk?
No, well, in part, but it.
Well, let me quit saying that. I'm doing what everybody else does. I apologize. I didn't
What are you
say
doing?
that man hates black folk. Because I've been looking for quotes specifically that he said something that was contrary. I've yet to find a quote. Now, I will admit, he has...
Who are you talking about?
Trump.
Are you crazy?
Okay, give me the racist quote.
What are you saying?
Give me the racist quote.
I don't like black people count my money.
Okay. That's not really... So, for me, that's not really...
Don't go there, bro.
No, that's not racist. Let me tell you why. No, let me tell you why. That's not racist, because I've heard other people, black people, by the way, use the same quote. And the quote goes, I don't want nobody to count my money but Jews. It don't say black people, right? It says, I don't want nobody to count my money but Jews. It's a quote that people use all the time.
That's not racist to you?
What? To Jews?
Just what
probably.
you just said.
To Jews, probably.
So isn't that racist? If you're racist to one group, you're racist to all the groups.
So let me ask you this. If you went to eat, went to eat Chinese food, and you saw a big black dude back there cooking your egg foo young, how would you feel? So, and if you said, I don't want nobody cooking my Chinese food, but Chinese people, is that racist?
I wouldn't say that, because I would go and say, hey, if the egg foo young tastes the way egg foo young should, it doesn't matter. By the way, there are a whole lot of Hispanics that work in Chinese restaurants. Okay.
My point
exactly.
So
let me blow you away. So I went to New Orleans. Okay, me and my son.
New Orleans never counts.
Okay, but no, listen to this.
You can never use New Orleans as a reference for anything.
I went to New Orleans. We went to New Orleans we were down there for his spring break. We were looking at colleges, and we decided we wanted to go downtown to eat. Mm-hmm. But the Final Four weekend, that Saturday. Okay. So we said, no, let's stay at the hotel. So I said, okay, let's find a place to get something to go. I roll up in this Cajun restaurant, and guess who's behind the counter?
Who?
Take a guess.
He was just taking your order, right?
No, he was the owner, and you can see his family. No, he had Hispanics cooking. Take a guess. Come on, Robert.
He was black?
No.
What?
He was Japanese. So long as he was Japanese.
and what kind of restaurant you at?
This was a Cajun restaurant. Ordered shrimp po' boy. Man, it was on fire.
You.
It don't matter.
I'm telling you, New Orleans, you can't use them as a point.
You can use anything.
Now, the first time I ever went to New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went to New Orleans, and I happened to be there during Mardi Gras.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Wrong time to go to New Orleans, by the way.
And so my friend...
Although I've been there during that time period.
My friend said, hey, take these beads, and if you ask a girl to show you her breast, you can give her your beads, right? So I was like, dude, that ain't the way this go, right? So, long story short, I see a really attractive woman. Mm-hmm. I walk up to her, and I say, hey, I'm Robert. I'd like to give you my beads. And all of a
did
sudden,
she pepper spray you?
the shirt comes up,
mm-hmm.
and I'm looking at breasts.
Okay. First time?
I hand my beads, and the guy says, "I'll let you see my blank if you give me some more beads." I said, "What?" He said, "I'll let you see my blank if you give me some more beads." I'm done. New Orleans is not a point of reference for anything ever in life, because you gotta remember this is back in the late '80s, early '90s.
No, that's when they were really crunk back
That wasn't
then.
going down, man.
That-
That wasn't.
yeah.
It wasn't as prevalent as it is now.
No, they don't. They don't let you. They don't let them do the breast thing. They'll arrest them now.
Man, that was crazy.
That was back when it was really crunk.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
But I'm saying.
But I never saw anybody else's breast the whole time I was there or since. So I don't ask that question.
Well, I'm just curious. How many bees did you get?
I didn't get any. I didn't think about that for a minute. You pretty smooth, brother. I didn't get any bees, but
my point being is that it doesn't matter. You asked me. He didn't want black people living in his house. I mean, in his apartments. He settled that. He didn't want. He didn't want black people counting his money. He took out a full-page ad in the New York Times, hoping to have 5 innocent black men killed by the state because he didn't pay attention to the crime itself. This man has a history, and God knows what else he's done behind the back. You can't justify that,
I'm
man.
not trying to justify it, but my point is,
Donald Trump is a racist.
my point is so okay with the Central Park 5.
If racists think you're a racist, what are you?
What racists think you're a racist?
All of the white supremacists. They love Donald Trump. If all your friends are racist,
But
what
this
are you?
is the problem I have with black folks. You ready for the problem I got with y'all? This man is trying to erase Obama, right?
Is that not racist?
Yeah, you can say it's racist, but I think it's. Did you see the? What was the dinner? Did you see the? What's that dinner they have every year? I can't even think of it. The. What is it? You know the dinner they have that the president does the monologue, whatever it is.
Oh, you're talking about the
Press dinner or something?
the National Press Corps.
National Press Corps. Okay. So Obama's last year, he ripped into him.
Well, it wasn't his last year, but
That was his last one. He really ripped hard.
he
in his last
eviscerated
one,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I get him trying to dismantle him, right? But this is the thing for me though. So black folk, if you know this man trying to do everything he can to embarrass Obama, why not? Why black folks ain't going? All right, man, you trying to make Obama look bad, right? Why don't you give black folk reparations? Why don't you do this for black folks? Why don't you do that for black folks? Because dude, he wants to show that Obama was a piece of whatever. And I don't think we've been strategic. Again, we're back to your strategic moves. We're not being strategic about it.
I don't care about Obama.
Now you don't care about Obama.
I didn't care about him
Dave,
then.
now you don't care about Obama.
I didn't care about him then.
Dave, we finna fight.
I'm
Now
sorry.
you don't care about Obama.
Oh, what did Obama do for black folks?
But still, Dave, why don't you care about Obama?
Except give you hope.
Why don't you care about Obama?
Last I checked, hope ain't bought me crap.
Ooh, Dave. But everybody want hope, Dave.
Good.
Black folk want hope.
Keep it.
You be at home hungry. You be
Yeah.
saying, I hope I can find some
That's
hope.
right. I hope somebody bring me some chicken.
I hope. You know, I'm
A
gonna
chicken sandwich.
I'm gonna tell you something I think is interesting.
But I mean, I'm just saying that this Obama thing. I mean, I'm not this caught up with the Obamas that everybody else is. I mean, I'm holding him to the same standard that I hold any other politician at this point, because actually, that's what Obama is as a politician. What have you done for me? What have you done for my people? Okay? And if you can't tell me what you're doing for my people, and you can't give me evidence of what you did for my people, then sorry, you're just like all the others.
Hey man, only thing I gotta say is this, man. This is the only thing I gotta say about your boy Obama. So you get a black president, and there's never been a black woman on the Supreme Court. There still is not a black woman on the Supreme Court. You have representation. You have what? Is it one white woman or two? You got two white women on the Supreme Court? Two white women, one Hispanic woman, but you do not have a black woman on the Supreme Court. One black man.
No, he's not black. He's not black.
His skin's black.
Yeah,
He's a graham cracker.
He
but
does
his
have
skin's
melanin,
black.
yes.
He's a graham cracker. But that's my thing, man. I mean, you know.
So there you go. He could have done that. He could have did a black guy, another black guy, or another woman. It doesn't matter.
And I'm not bashing Obama people. So
Yeah, you are
stop
bashing
texting me
Obama.
about the Obama bashing. But if we want to be, but hold on. If we want to be fair, so in Bill Clinton's first term, he appointed 9 blacks to cabinets. In Obama's first term, he appointed 8 blacks to cabinets. So I mean, what's your point? If you look at all the other people who had blacks in positions of power, it was, the numbers don't even compare. The numbers don't compare.
Oh, I agree. I mean, that's my point.
But let's do something else. Let's look at the Democratic Party, the leadership of the Democratic Party, and the leadership of the Republican Party. You ready for this?
They're about the same.
No, but check this out. So there's only been one black man there's only been one black person who has ever chaired, get that right, chaired or been the chair for the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. Michael Steele for the Republican Party after Obama got elected. And before that, you had Ron Brown for the Democrats. Now, Donna Bazell steps in every time somebody falls off for whatever reason. But neither one of them, in their existence, we're talking over 300 years, right? Neither one of them has ever had a black woman or a black man who actually led, or had a black woman lead. Right now, the Democratic Party has a Hispanic. But I mean, those are the kind of things that are important to me. And the reason those things are important is because if you don't think enough of me to let me head your organization, then you don't think enough of me when it comes to my policy. So people say what they want to. Y'all still love them up, do your thing, enjoy. But that's important.
Why you hating on Obama, man?
I ain't hating on Obama. Why are you trying to hate on me?
Well, I agree with you. We're at a point now, I think, that we have to start making these people accountable. They always, right now, so it was funny over the weekend. Apparently, Pete Buttigieg, who is leading in Iowa. Stop. No. There are all kinds of jokes you can throw there.
I know.
Okay, all kinds, trust me.
Right.
But he's leading in Iowa right now. But what people don't understand, which has become more obvious now, especially the Democrats, is that if you're going to win, you need the black vote.
Yeah, he's not going to get my vote for one reason. If he make it, he's not getting my vote.
No, he's not getting my vote either, period.
Because that thing he did in South Bend.
South Bend.
Yeah, that was garbage, man.
Right, but not only that, he comes out last week and says that being gay is like being black.
Well, you wasn't going to get my vote before, but
Right.
now you ain't going to get my consideration.
No. So he meets with Reverend Barber over the weekend to try to curry favor. See, that's what annoys me about white politicians, is that you hadn't given a damn about black issues, black people, since you've been in office, and you think that you can go and meet with a quote-unquote black leader, and that black leader accepts you, and then you say, see, we got to quit falling for that okie doke. That's the okie doke right there. And I respect Reverend Barber because he's really the only black person out here who are calling politicians to the carpet. But the point I'm making is that Pete Buttigieg and all these white politicians who need black people when it comes election time, but disdain black people when it comes to policies and effectiveness, I can't do nothing for you. Period. I'm not doing nothing for you.
Why would you?
You see what I'm saying?
Why would you?
That's my point. Why do you think we're stupid? And in some respect, they do. Because here's a man who he leans more Republican than he does Democratic. That's the killer thing about it, okay? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said this. This is a GOP talking point, talking about Buttigieg. Now here's what he said. I believe we should move to make college affordable for everyone, okay? Well, that doesn't count unless you go even further, unless it's free even for kids of millionaires. But I only want to make promises that we can keep. So Cortez says this is a GOP talking point used to dismantle public systems, and it's sad to hear a Democratic candidate adopt it. Just like rich kids can attend public schools, they should be able to attend tuition-free public colleges. So He's doing nothing. He's nothing but a Republican in sheep's clothing. And just because he's gay, he automatically thinks everybody, oh, he's gay. We can vote for him. No, dude.
Who said they can vote for him?
I mean, that's his attitude. So, no, I'm not voting for him. He's a piece of crap. And anytime, and I'm going to say this again, if you gay out there and you listening and this ticks you off, tough.
Well, the thing is for me,
Being black and gay is not one and the same. They are not analogous. Stop saying that crap.
when I talk to some of my folks in South Bend, I just ask them, so tell me the real, what's the real with the deal with the, protest y'all had? And they say, man, it's like we do every time. They get one of them Uncle Toms to come out and say everything all good, and we working it out, and it's all good. He said, but that dude ain't had nothing to do with the movement. He wasn't even in our movement.
Nope.
We don't even know nothing about him. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, man, you doing the same old. Nah, bro, I can't roll with you like that.
Well, Pete Buttigieg is a fake. And let me say this again. Being gay and being black are not analogous. Okay? That means that they're incongruent. Okay? That's a math term. They don't work together.
Well, I don't know why you get mad now. You ain't get mad when they got special protections.
I've been mad. Trust me.
I don't know, man.
Trust me.
Black folk ain't get mad about it, man.
I'm just saying.
Upset about it. We got them special protections. We became a protected class because of all the stuff that's been done to us. Ain't nobody did nothing to gay folks. Ain't nobody did nothing to Chinese folks. I mean, even white women are part of the protected class. They were free. How did they become part of the protected class? That's the thing that still bothers me. Why is nobody fighting back about our protected class? Why?
Because we have no leadership. By the way, being gay is not analogous to being black.
Dave, I think we heard you the 16th time.
Sorry if you're gay. That's your thing. But you know what, Pete Buttigieg? If you never told me you were gay, I'd never know you were gay. But you know I'm black. All you got to do is look at me. Okay? So being gay is not analogous to black. By the way, gay is not the new black. By the way, Dwayne Wade, you mad because people poking fun at you because you letting your son wear nails? Why not? Okay? I poke fun at you too. Let me say this one more time. Tanya said, amen, say it again, y'all. Being gay is not analogous to being black. Now, if you're mad, call Robert Webb, because he the one got cue cards up showing me and making me say it. 855-525-5683 is the number. Memphis Educator wants students to know about scientists aren't just white men in white coats with crazy ideas and crazy hair. Good for him. We need more kids who are mathematicians, who are scientists, who are physicists. We got too many damn basketball players. We got too many damn football players. Okay? Too many. So shout out to this brother in Memphis who is making that happen, because his name is James Johnson. He teaches 6th grade science at Chickasaw Middle School in the Memphis neighborhood of Westwood. He was one of 5 Memphis educators selected by a nonprofit New Memphis for its first class of Educators of Excellence Awards. Stop pigeonholing our children. Stop saying that all I put up a post a few months ago. The next time you see a tall brother, don't say, hey, you look like a basketball player. Next time you see a thick brother, don't say, yeah, you look like a football player. Hey, man, you playing for football? You playing basketball? Say, hey, man, you look like a scientist. Hey, man, the way you walk, you look like an attorney. We got to stop pigeonholing our children to being just, either you're a basketball star or you nobody. That's crazy, man. It's time to it's that mind shift that we talk about all the time on this show. Before you can do it, you got to believe it, okay? Before a butterfly, a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, he has to know that when he comes out of that cocoon, that he's going to be a beautiful creature. You got to start putting it in your head, your kids' heads early, that this is what you can be. I was fascinated by some of these kids that stayed at the house. You know what this little 5-year-old Cody was watching?
What?
He wasn't watching. Well, he was watching the Magic School Bus. And he was.
School bus.
You don't remember the Magic School Bus?
I don't.
Oh, you never watched the Magic School Bus with your kids?
I don't think so.
Well, it's one of the award-winning programs, children's programs.
PBS?
It started off on PBS, but it has its own channel now on Netflix.
Okay.
But not only was he watching Magic School Bus, which is basically a science project that they go on this bus,
Okay.
he was actually watching documentaries about fish.
Really?
A 5-year-old.
Pretty impressive.
It was to me too.
I'm a 50-year-old. I wouldn't watch a documentary on documentary.
Well, I watch them every day on YouTube, but they're about crappie. I'm trying to catch me some crappie this winter, man. Anyway, but I'm just saying, that's what, now he'll watch other cartoons as well, but it's Magic School Bus, it's documentaries about animals. He has this fascination about the most dangerous animals in the world. He likes watching that kind of stuff. Those are the, and I said, you're going to be a little scientist. He said, maybe. Here's a 5-year-old. I said, Cody, you going to be a scientist? He looks at me and says, maybe.
Maybe I'll be a chemist.
But that's my point. That's what you got to start doing to our children, man. You got to change the mindset and think, look, you know what? We didn't watch any football at all over the holidays. I don't think one television flipped to a football game. And there are 3 in my household, 3 big ones. So it's about changing that mindset. That's important. When you see these young people say, hey, man, dude, you know what you look like, man? You know what you look like? Man, you look like a pilot. That'll blow them away, man.
I agree with that.
That'll blow them away, man.
I agree with that.
We got to put that expectations in their mind that they can think outside of what people think they should be. Because as soon as you see a tall cat first, man, you balling. Man, you big guy. Hey, man, playing football?
Yeah, I don't do that, man. I've never done that.
I'm just saying, we gotta start projecting onto them
Yeah, I got you on that.
some other type of
I got you on
attitude.
that one, yeah.
Because although you don't do it, I don't do it, there are tons and tons of people who do.
I get it all. I used to get it all the time.
So you felt that, right, personally. So it was almost like you were obligated.
Yeah, and it's like if I say no, it's like, oh, you just wasting all that hype.
You hear what I'm saying?
Man, go.
Never thought about what's between your ears, your mind.
But I think it also speaks to what they're familiar with. I mean, it's all about familiarity, man. If we're not attuned to what's out there, then how can we help attune our kids or other kids we come in contact to?
Oh, I got some great Francis Wilson quotes.
Man, yeah, you're supposed to get into that. Then you went into this diatribe.
Okay. Well, can I read one real fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Critical in the history of white supremacy was the decision not to control black and other women of color, but to control men of color. Thousands upon thousands of black men in the U.S. were lynched and castrated to drive home the message that white men intended to control the balls in this world, both on and off the court. White males understood that they needed white women as well as black women to help them achieve and maintain this powerful relationship. White women always have known what they stood to gain, their own survival as whites. Black women have been confused and less clear in understanding how they have been led to cooperate in this deadly power game of white supremacy. Further, black women do not understand fully that they have nothing to gain and everything to lose in this deadly game.
Yeah, I don't don't think they're even close to comprehending what that looks like.
But this is some deep stuff, boy.
Yeah.
This is why I talk about this mind stuff. Hey, we'll be back in a moment.
Done it, the butler done it, Butler Furniture Depot.
Butler Furniture Depot is your back-to-school headquarters. All college students, fraternities, and sororities get a two-piece living room set for only $3.99, or take advantage of our four-piece living room special, which includes sofa, love seat, chair, and ottoman for only $5.99. Quantities are limited.
Who done it, the butler done it, Butler Furniture Depot.
Or what about an
I
extra
went to see
thick
Queen and
queen-size
Slim
mattress
yesterday.
or queen size for only
I almost went. My son and daughter-in-law went Friday night. How was it?
$4.99, or a five-piece dinette set for only
Wasn't that good? Okay, I won't be going. I'll wait till it comes out on Fire Stick.
I don't say it wasn't good, man. It's just,
Was there
it was just too goddamn real for me.
was there a gay no gay situations in there? Thank God, because I'm getting to a point where I'm sick of all that. Okay, no offense to gay people again, but every situation now, it seems like every movie, every sitcom, everything now has to have a gay element. I don't want that. Okay, don't shove it down my throat. And I don't care if you're mad. Yeah, I said it. Oh, they homophobic. No, I'm not. I read this story about this white woman that she got upset because she went to this play. I want to say it was called The Slave Diaries. And it's been critically acclaimed in New York. And afterwards, the writer had a question and answer. And she gets upset, starts screaming at him, saying she's tired of being blamed for her relatives and stuff like that. Oh, your white tears are just killing me. It's a trip. I'll read. Let me see if I posted that article. It's I don't know if I'm gonna see Queen and Slim. Although
It was too real for me.
there were people at the house who said they went to see it because a white policeman got killed.
Yeah, that's why I went. I clapped when they shot it killed.
You did?
Yeah,
Are you serious?
I sure did.
In the theater?
In the theater.
You just bad, man. See, you're in trouble, baby. Oh, did you hear about the Akon is building a Wakanda Akon city in Senegal to be completed in the next 10 years? See, Akon is doing what you're supposed to do.
Akon.
He was this African rapper who made big money, and he went back to Africa and started building shit. Akon. He's he went to this town and gave them electricity, and see that's what black people ought to be doing. Okay, invest your money in the black community.
The views and opinions expressed today.
I gotta go to Ghana though, man, because Ghana, man, they say Ghana is popping right now, man, and they doing all this stuff for expatriates, black people, come back. Man, that in the next year, I think that's what we're gonna plan and go to Ghana.
Welcome to Black Focus,
We just gotta go.
the show designed with our community in mind.
And Latanya said Akon is handsome too.
Developing our solutions.
I don't know about all that, Tanya.
Our voices.
Okay.
Central Arkansas, surrounding areas, and the nation. Get ready. Black Focus starts right now. Phone lines open at 855-525-5683. So here's your host, David W. Coleman and Robert Webb.
All right, welcome back to the show. Second hour of the show. We're just kind of reminiscing over the weekend, what happened over the weekend. I'm going to read another Francis Cress Welsing quote to you real fast. The facts of our true identity are that we, as black people, are persons whose dominant genetic and historic roots extend to Africa, the land of the blacks. Africa was the birthplace of humankind, and that for many hundreds of centuries thereafter, Africans, meaning black people, were in the forefront of all human progress. As John Henry Clark states, we've talked about him on this show, it can be said with a strong degree of certainty that Africa had 3 golden ages. The first 2 reached their climax and were in decline before Europe as a functioning entity in human society was born. Black women and black men are the parents of the entire family of people. Black, brown, red, yellow, and white varieties. I've told y'all they are our children.
Who?
White people.
Oh, Jesus. They're our children.
They are our children. And they're angry at their parents.
Okay, Dave.
It's a mental thing, dude. It's a mind thing. Please try to understand.
So you said when the black dude marries a white woman, he married his child.
In a roundabout way, yeah. Or his mama.
Huh?
Or his cousin. By the way, was that Tennessee or Kentucky who granted the right for cousins to marry, or brothers and sisters to marry? I saw that over the weekend, but anyway. 855-525-5683 is the number. We talked about Akon. That's a great thing. Here's another article. See, this is what I was saying about politics, and we were talking about Obama. New York Times, and this is what made me think about this. The New York Times published an article over the weekend, Black Voters to Black Candidates. Representation is not enough. See, people are beginning to really wake up. Okay?
People been saying that for years, though. That's not a new mantra.
No, they haven't.
It's not a new mantra.
It's not a new mantra, but to begin to not only voice it, but to demand these candidates. Look, like I said last week when I went to the thing, it's great. Those guys are probably nice people.
Right.
They're all 4 of the candidates are probably cool.
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna call Tyler after the show and see if we can get him on this one.
Okay, cool. Okay, and see if we can get Leon as well. Leon.
Yeah, that's right. Leon.
We want to get both of them on. Okay, but I'm saying, what is your substance? What do you here's what I think our problem is as black people. We're infected with flowery words. We have the flowery word syndrome. Okay? You know what that is?
Yeah, I told you already, but I'm not gonna say it again because then people get mad at me.
What is it?
You can treat me like a nigga, just don't call me one.
Well, you put it a little bit more frank than I would have said it. But in a way, you know why they love Dr. King?
No.
I have a dream. He was a great orator. Okay? You go back and you look at this is why black people are so enamored with church and preachers, because if that brother can speak the word, they never look at substance. They never look behind those words. You see what I'm saying? And this is where black people are caught up today. They want a leader, but they want that leader to be like Doc, to be able to thrill them with his oratory skills. That's what the problem is. They're infected with that. They don't understand that, hey, look, we want leaders who want to get things done. I don't care where you came from. I want to know if you're going to get up there and kick ass and take names. I don't care if you're in the minority. I want to be heard. I want my senators and representatives to be in the news. I want you to be out in the community. I don't want you going taking pictures with Bridges. I hope you're listening, by the way.
Stop, man. Listen, you know
what I'm talking about?
You do this. I don't know who you're talking about. I'm not going to respond to that.
You don't?
No, I'm not going to respond to that.
Why?
Because, do they want to take a picture with a bridge? Enjoy your bridge.
I'm just saying.
I'm with you.
I don't want you going to take pictures with Bridges. I want you out in the community kicking ass and taking names. That's what we need from our black leaders. That's what we need from the city councilman all the way up to wherever they go in politics. If you're not willing to do that for me, not just really me, really your children, then you're not worth my vote. And that's what black people have got to start being nasty. You don't think so, Robert, but I truly believe at this point, people are beginning to say, particularly black people, Even when you hear people say, well, I don't want to vote Democrat because I've been voting Democrat, they hadn't done anything for me. Boom, that's the first sign that the light is coming on. But then you can't say, well, I'm not going to vote Democrat, and then you go vote Republican, because the Republicans are just as bad. So what you should be doing is saying, hey, look, both of these are part of the same damn bird. How can I leverage them against one another to get what I need? That's how we ought to be voting. And I think for the first time, that light is beginning to switch on to people who are in the know and say, okay, I'm black. You come to me every time you need somebody to vote for you, but I never get any results. What I'm getting out of this, dog, okay? This ain't a sexual encounter, and when you say, if it was good for me, how was it good for you? No, it don't work that way. It's kind of like you got to pay to play. You go to a strip club, you can't get any table dance till you kick out some money. Okay? We giving them table dances, and they ain't getting us no money. I don't know why I had that analogy.
I don't know. You must be thinking about table dances. What did you do this weekend?
It wasn't table dances.
Sounds like it. Sound like you was,
Hell, they know what to do that here in Little Rock anyway now.
Sound like you were engaged in table dancing.
Nope, sorry. Wasn't none. We did talk about the old days of the Memphis strip clubs back in the day.
Again, with all the election cycle in full swing, for me, I think there are three important questions that black folks should be asking candidates when they ask for their vote.
So let me interrupt you. That last debate they had 2 weeks ago was in Atlanta, Georgia, at a Tyler Perry studio.
Okay.
Now I'll admit that I didn't watch the debate because they're just 10 people debating. That's not a debate.
Right.
Did you know from the reports that I read that they mentioned black issues very little? You're in the heart of Atlanta.
Yes, I can believe that, Dave.
You
Because
see?
again, Dave, the bad thing about reading is you get to see the truth. You get to read the truth. If you read it, they put it in writing. But the truth is that those issues are not important to them. Because again, the way you get the black vote is you get black folk to say, we gonna support him. You don't get it by talking about issues. You never have. You get it because you say, I talked to Reverend Barber, and Reverend Barber, he said that we's gonna do some things. Well, what we gonna do? Well, we ain't gonna talk about that right now. But we working on it. You've never heard of a candidate, because for me to give you my vote, I gotta see a whole page on your website that says black issues. You talking about immigration? You talking about dreamers? You talking about all this? But you ain't talking about me. You ain't talking about police brutality. You ain't talking about none of that. You ain't talking about none of that. You ain't talking about unemployment in the black community. You ain't talking about education. You're not having any of those conversations. If you're not having those conversations, you're not serious about, to me anyway. You're not serious about it. So if you're not having those conversations, because those are the most important conversations.
Well, preach Robert.
What? Inappropriate sexual and sexist references. What have you said, Dave?
Please expound.
I don't know. We'll ask them. Please share more. We don't know what you mean by inappropriate sexual and sexist references. Please give us an example so that we can do it again. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's the craziness about this. I mean, you don't hear anybody talking about, every time I hear somebody talk about unemployment, I would laugh, because the way the unemployment system works, the way they measure unemployment is ridiculous. How can you even go by that? It's BS.
Well, the point you're making, and you're making an excellent point, is they don't respond to anything that we do, and I'm glad you brought up the website issue, okay? Because if you think we're kidding, pick your favorite candidate, or pick any 10 of these Democratic candidates. Go to their websites and see if you can find anything that specifically addresses issues related to the black community. Okay? Do that. I dare you. Go to their websites and see if they are addressing anything that are related to the black community. They're not. The reason I can tell you that because I've been out there and I've looked at their websites. I've looked at their agendas. Even the black candidates don't have anything that specifically addresses black issues. This is where voting in blocks makes a difference. This is where now you can demand. And that New York Times article I think is great. And I hope a lot of people are reading it. And by the way, I just reposted it on Black Focus Radio, the page. It is a great, great article because black people have to start demanding
Okay, you ready for this?
what they
We're
want.
going to start Elizabeth Warren. Her says, what will Elizabeth do? Strengthen our democracy. Rebuild the middle class. Equal justice under law. End Washington corruption. A foreign policy for all. Okay, hold on. Just curious. Check this out, Dave. I think you'll like this. Rebuild the middle class. Now, I want you to listen to this thing, Dave, and I want you to listen to the whole thing. Then I want you to tell me who you think about. After decades of largely flat wages and exploding household costs, millions of families can barely breathe. For generations, people of color have been shut out of their chance to build wealth. It's time for big structural change to put economic power back in the hands of the American people. Hold on, Dave.
I got my hand up.
What?
I don't give a damn about people of color.
Hold on, Dave. I know, Dave.
I just want to say that.
That means putting power back in the hands of workers and unions.
In fact, I don't even use people of color.
I know. I'm black.
Stop using the phrase people of color, black people. I'm sorry, go ahead, Robert. Continue, sir.
That means putting power back in the hands of workers and unions. It also means transforming large American companies by letting their workers elect at least 40% of the company's board members to give them a powerful voice in decisions about wages and outsourcing. And it means a new era of strong antitrust enforcement so giant corporations can't stifle competition, depress wages, and drive up the cost of everything from beef to internet access. As the wealthiest nation in the history of the world, we can make investments that create economic opportunity, address rural neglect, and a legacy of racial discrimination. If we stop handing out giant tax giveaways to rich people and giant corporations and start asking the people who have gained the most from our country to pay their fair share, that includes an millionaire tax on America's 75,000 richest people to produce trillions that can be used to build an economy that works for everyone, including universal child care, student loan debt relief, and down payments on a Green New Deal and Medicare for all. And we can make a historic investment in housing that would bring down rents by 10% across America and create 1.5 million new jobs. So, did you hear anything about black folk in that day?
No. I've already read that, so that bored me. Sorry.
No, it's not a problem with that.
I went through. Because see what I do, I'll go to their page and just type in, I'll do Control F.
Mm-hmm.
That lets me reference certain words. So I'll type in black or African American.
You get very little, right?
It doesn't show up.
Well, I think at this point, I mean, now I will say, in theory, what she has on her page sounds really good, in theory. But if you really read it,
it's gobbledygook.
It's a bunch of gobbledygook. There's nothing concise. And this is what people tell you, right? They tell you if you want to get the nuts and bolts, you go to my website, right? Well, we're on her website.
But most people are not going to even read all of that.
Why wouldn't they?
Why would they?
Well, you should.
That's my point. That they're not. Look, the problem with the American electorate is, as what you said earlier. I like her. She my friend. I went to school with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's how people vote in this country. Okay.
Unfortunately,
They don't take the time out to do research on particular candidates, and certainly they don't take the time out to do research on people's agenda. That's why we're in this situation that we're in today. So yeah, they want you to go to their website. So if I meet you out, you're a candidate and you're live, what's easier when you ask me a question? To dance by your question and then say, hey, if you want to know more, go to my website. You get that, right?
Yeah.
Because
there's nothing more on your website.
Because there's nothing more on your website, but they've dismissed you live on a one-to-one contact. And then you're out there on their website trying to find what they need. They done moved on. That's the game they play. That's all I'm saying. And what we have to do is, and that's why I'm saying I'm hoping that electorate, that article in the New York Times, I'm hoping people are beginning to say, hey, look, here's what we need. Here's what I need you to do. And if you don't do this, we're going to hold you accountable with our votes. Black women right now run around bragging about the fact that they vote more than any other people in America. Okay, good. I'm proud of you, sisters. What was the number? I think 95%. Well, I think black men are like 93%, but we'll give y'all the love. I ain't mad about that.
Cory Booker, building a campaign powered by people like you. Together with
Oh, God, I don't want to hear this soppy.
Restore people's faith that we can build a more fair and just nation for everyone. Are you in? Chip in today. Cory Booker said you can give me $3.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got it. You got my 3?
No. Not gonna happen.
Oh,
Let
man.
me get to his real stuff.
I'm just saying.
He didn't even have a website.
He's got to have a website. I read something on the website. I'm just simply saying all of this is about your mind, folks. Rockman Carter says, black people believe that an education is learning to sound like white people. Subsequently, black people believe that if one sounds white, then they are intelligent, not talking about grammar or proper placement of words, but cadence and inflection of white people. In other words, you're saying that's white supremacy, Rockman. You're right. We want to do everything like them as opposed to doing it like us. That's why when I do my rites of passage, I include ancient Africa. It is important for you to tell your kids where we came from, where numbers came from. Tanya mentioned the numbers earlier. Where the original calculator came from. Once you instill in the minds of your kids that your ancestors created it, think about it from this perspective.
Okay, Cory.
How many times has grandpa created something and the grandson come along later in life and make it bigger than what it was?
Justice, Cory says justice, opportunity, and American leadership.
What the hell does that mean?
Animal welfare, criminal justice.
Wait a minute. Animal welfare?
Animal welfare.
What is animal welfare?
Stop, man.
What is, wait a minute.
You stop.
See, okay, so you done touched the nerve with this animal welfare crap.
Wait a second.
Okay?
Dave, can I at least get it
Okay,
out first?
what is animal welfare? Okay? I'm sorry.
Can I get it out
okay?
first, Dave?
But I don't really give a damn about Spot. Okay?
Can I get it
I
out
know he
first?
might make you feel good when you're lonely, but that is not a political agenda for me.
Can I get it out, Dave?
Okay, go
Animal
ahead.
welfare, criminal
Animal.
justice.
And and that's the top of the list?
Yeah, top of the list. Democracy.
Come on,
democracy
man.
and voting rights. Equity for LGBTQ people.
So does that mean like if my goldfish die, I'm in trouble?
Yeah, pretty much, man. You can do 7 years with your boy. My God. Equity for people with disabilities, gun violence, immigration, reproductive rights. And under opportunity, he has college and workforce training, economic security and opportunity, healthcare, housing, Public education, the very last one. Okay.
Rockman says, white people educate black people to serve them and their needs. You're exactly right, Rockman.
American leadership, climate change and environmental justice, national security, veterans and military families. So, Dave, just because we did that, we got to go back and we got to read one of his. Which one you want to go with?
Let's do animal welfare.
How did I know you'd pick that one? Okay. Our treatment of animals is a test of our character and a measure of the compassion of our society. Both in his personal life and as a U.S. Senator, Corey has long been a leading voice on animal welfare issues. The Humane Society Legislation Fund has ranked Corey at a 100% on every humane scorecard they have issued since Corey was elected to the Senate.
I don't care.
Corey has led his colleagues in the Senate in blocking appropriations riders that sought to undermine the Endangered Species Act and delist vulnerable species such as gray wolves and grizzly bears. And he has introduced legislation that will require federal facilities to comply with the minimum standards of care in the Animal Welfare Act. When Corey helped write a major update to our federal chemical safety law, Corey worked for over a year to include new limits on animal testing in the bill. And it is estimated that those protections will save hundreds of thousands of animals from needlessly suffering. Corey has also introduced a bill to create federal prohibition on animals fighting to the U.S. territories and get it passed into law in the final 2008 Farm Bill, saving thousands of animals every year from suffering and dying. As president, Corey will work to protect all endangered species, is that black folks too? And prohibit imports of trophies of elephants, lions, and other threatened and endangered wildlife.
That's enough.
You don't want to hear more about that?
No.
Okay.
Because that's superfluous.
Okay, let's go to your girl Camilla.
See,
Girl Camilla, right?
that's just ridiculous. Look, if you I'm not a pet lover. I don't have pets. But let me tell you something, dogs. Okay? That human life is more important than pet life. I'm sorry if you got a little pet. I ain't trying to be sensitive. I had a friend who recently had a pet to die. I understand how upset they were. I understand that. But at the end of the day, they ain't human. They don't deserve any legislation. In fact, we got too many dogs and cats right now. You go to the local humane society, and they don't have enough adoptees. So let's stop this, okay? Let's stop giving dogs rights. Let's stop giving sheep rights. Pretty soon, I won't even be able to eat a good steak. I like me a New York strip, too. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Some
So
beef.
Camilla got a...
What'd she say?
Camilla's agenda for the people.
I'm really sick about Cory Booker.
Why? Cory Booker's been the same. I have to admit, I was a big fan of Cory Booker.
He specifically...
When he was a mayor.
He specifically had a bullet point for animal rights.
Yeah, Dave.
And you don't have a bullet point for black rights?
Okay, Dave. So this is my thinking, right? So because of the money they probably generate, I guarantee you that animal rights folks, that's probably like $60-70 million worth of campaign contributions. So I get that. I know you don't care, but I'm saying that's partly, it could be partly why he has it on his page.
Okay,
But your girl Camilla says affordable housing, children, climate change, communities of color.
Communities of
color.
What about black communities?
Criminal justice reform, disabilities and economic justice, education, foreign policy, gender equality, gun violence, health care, immigration, infrastructure, labor, LGBTQ plus equality, veterans, and voting rights in our democracy. Which one you want, Dave? Your eyes just glazed over. Stop it, man. Come on, Dave. Which one you want? Seriously, come on.
Try black rights.
There's no such thing. So I'll try communities of color. Is that close enough? Communities of color. Let's see what she got.
Is it in English or is it in Spanish?
It is in English, my friend. It does not give you an option for Spanish. Okay, let's see what she got. Okay, not very long. Camilla has always stood up for the people.
That's a damn
That's a
lie.
Yeah.
How many black women did you throw in jail, Camilla?
We ain't gonna get into that. She knows that our diversity is our greatest strength, and that until all of us are equal, none of us are equal. Justice is on the ballot. Anytime we deny justice to someone because of their race, their religion, or the language they speak, we deny justice to all the people. That's why, as president, Camilla will fight to lift up historically disadvantaged and marginalized communities. This means making bold investment in communities of color, clearing the way onto critical on-ramps to economic opportunity like capital to start a business. It means fighting to protect every American's fundamental right to vote. It means reforming our criminal justice system, which is deeply flawed and infected with bias. It means reopening.
Who was once a purveyor of that very criminal justice system?
That she was, and refusing an analysis.
I'm sorry, I was in the middle of a snore.
Asylum seekers of every race and religion. Taking executive action to create a path to citizenship for dreamers, and fighting to
dreamers.
21st century immigration reform. That
immigration
to our values.
I ain't a damn immigrant.
It means combating racial disparities in our healthcare system and delivering culturally competent care and resources patients need. We need a president who will do everything in her power to level the playing field, stand up for equal rights and opportunities for all, and remind Americans that we have so much more in common than what separates us. Camilla will be that president. Oh,
boring.
Dang. Oh, dang.
Boring.
So check this out, Dave. So if you scroll through, it says related policies. It says lifting up Native American communities.
Well, they need some help.
Second, it says standing up for African American communities.
Wow.
Standing up, Dave.
So should we stand up and sing, lift every voice and sing?
I don't know.
Why is that one of her main agendas?
I don't know.
Why is that one of her main talking points? That I'm going to uplift the black community. I'm going to instill values. I'm going to shoot economic development in those communities. I'm going to push for reparations.
I gotta read this. You ready? I just gonna read this line. You ready? So I clicked under standing up for black folks. Camilla has fought for racial justice her entire career.
Oh, come on. But again, it goes back to my point about them on the trail. You ask them that question, they go to that website, and you find out there ain't jack on your website about me as black people.
No.
It goes back to what we were talking about with the debate, is that they were right smack dab in what people call at Black Atlanta, on a black business stage, on a newly stage that was just created and named after some of the great black icons of black history, and you don't talk about black issues. I'll be damned.
But check this out. She knows that we can't have racial justice without dismantling the institutional injustices and biases black Americans still face in our country, including in our economy, housing, and our education, healthcare, and criminal justice system. As president, Camilla will fight to restore truth and justice in America and build an economy that works for everyone. She'll make investments that create opportunities for black entrepreneurs to bring great ideas into the marketplace and grow the small business engines of our economy. She'll make sure that more resources go to minority-owned small businesses in low-income neighborhoods, and that housing dollars actually go to building affordable units. So this is why I think this is BS, total BS, right? So from all the research I've done, all the money that comes into our community now, all that money that comes into the community, the $600 million that I mentioned that comes in every year, guess who that money's supposed to be given to? Small minority businesses. Guess who gets the money?
The Chamber of Commerce and the bigger businesses.
Well, yeah, we don't get it. So this is BS already. It's not about bringing more money in. It's about creating opportunities for people who already are in these communities to access this money. But that's a whole nother story. Okay, and because pipelines to economic opportunity begin with education, she'll continue her lifelong commitment to HBCUs and other minority servicing institutions by making attendance to these landmark institutions debt-free for students and investing over $60 billion in programs that teach and train the next generation of leaders of color. We can't secure a healthy and sustainable future without standing up for low income and communities of color who shoulder a heavier burden of environmental harms and resulting health impacts than whites in wealthy communities. Camilla will tackle environmental injustice head on so black families can breathe clean air and drink clean water. Camilla will also pass Medicare for all, combat the black maternity rate crisis, protect reproductive rights, and close the boyfriend loophole to prevent dating partners convicted of domestic violence from purchasing guns. Okay, I get that now. And Camilla will fight for end-to-end reform of our deeply flawed, biased criminal justice system, which incarcerate black Americans at more than 5 times the rate of white Americans. She'll drive an end to the era of mass incarceration and ensure that those returning from prison and jail can successfully re-enter their communities. Standing side by side with communities across the country, Camilla will work every day.
It's part of that shit I'm saying. Those people that I helped put in jail.
Put in jail, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right wrongs and write the next chapter of justice, prosperity for black Americans. So this is the thing about reading the monetary stuff, right? So when I started reading about this monetary stuff, what I learned is yeah, it's cool to talk about doing all that stuff, but there are certain systems you have to put in place because, again, remember, everybody goes to a bank, right? So if you go to a bank, that's a federal agency. It is federally regulated. So the thing is that they could make it harsh for banks not to lend to black folks.
They've already done that.
They don't enforce it. Because if you look at the lending for black folk versus white folks, those numbers are crazy, right?
Yes, they are.
So if they wanted to change this, there is legislation they could have put in place already that they just have to enforce. You with me? So that's why I say, man, a lot of times we just don't know these things. And nobody ever asks those questions when they're in front of a mic, right? Nobody ever says, so why don't you strengthen the CRS laws, right? Nobody ever says that. You with me? I mean, because that's a simple way to make it happen.
Okay, so, and you make an excellent point, and that's where I'm going with as far as, see, these people that are running for office should know these things, right? Okay? And they ought to be pushing those things, but they're not. They simply don't. Therein lies the problem. That's why we never get anything done in our communities, because the people that are running, they don't know that there are laws already on the books right now that could change a lot of stuff that's going on in the black community.
If they were just
okay. Remember the article I read last week, or was it the week before, that the expose that the Washington Post did,
that was week before.
As it relates to they're still redlining in black communities. They're still doing it now. And simply because there is no oversight, there is nobody that is pursuing it. They gave the excellent story of they set up 2 people with equal identities,
Right.
equal backgrounds, equal income, and one was black and one was white, sent them to the same real estate company, And one real estate company was bold enough to say, hey, we don't have anything to sell right now. Turned around and sent the white guy, and they welcomed him with open arms.
Yeah.
So that's still going on. Now, that could be solved simply by when that happened, this watchdog group who did this, when that happened, that realtor, that company should be out of business. But they're practicing redlining.
Yeah.
Okay, they had another group, a couple where two guys where they took the white guy to a plush neighborhood. The black guy wanted to buy in that neighborhood, and they said they weren't available.
Yep.
Therein lies the problem here. So you're right; these things are already there.
They're already there. They just have to be enforced.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, they're not enforcing them. I mean, because the CRS laws. I'm not saying that right. Community Reinvestment Act, CRA laws, but they are not. They're just not enforcing them.
Remember what was that? I think that's part of the Community Investment Act. Banks are supposed to be
They're supposed to give a certain amount to minority communities.
every year.
Every year, they're supposed to lend so much money to minority communities. Lend money, open up bank accounts, all that kind of stuff goes toward their CRA numbers, right? And so most banks, if you look, I mean, Iberia Bank is always on that list. Iberia is always on that list. Nobody ever meets the threshold, but there are some people who are just egregious with it. Iberia is one. I haven't looked at it in a couple of years, but Iberia is one. For a long time, Simmons was one. Simmons didn't. Well, I take that back. Simmons fell off the list in 2000.
The list as the banks that were doing
That were not. So
that were not.
That were not make. Not all banks make the threshold.
No,
In
they
Little
don't.
Rock, almost none of the banks make the threshold.
Why is that? See, and that's a rhetorical question.
Well-
So if I'm the mayor who worked in the banking industry, who should know about CRS,
CRA.
CRA, that's your stick.
Yeah.
You get my point?
Yeah, I get your point. But I mean, you got to think. I mean, for me anyway, when you start talking about business loans, so they look at checking accounts, savings accounts, annuities, the whole nine. I mean, all across the board. Anything that the bank offers, they look at minority participation across
Right.
the board. So what you find is that a lot of banks hook up with these guys who are like they hook up with women organizations. They give a lot of money to women businesses, right? Because that helps them with the CRS numbers, but it doesn't CRA numbers, but it doesn't help when it comes to black folks.
So why aren't people going in? I'm glad this came up. Why aren't people going in and examining these CRA numbers and saying, okay, how much investment did you do in the black community?
Because I don't think people know about it, really. I don't think people know about it.
So again, we're back to our politicians. If you want change in our communities, are y'all listening, politicians?
Yeah.
Okay.
You finna make a very valid point.
Okay.
You should, yeah.
So if I'm a politician, if I'm a state official a candidate running for a state office, you know what's on my agenda? I want to go and look at the bank CRA number and see if they are being good citizens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see if they're good citizens.
But I mean, even more than that, though. So we all know that every loan is credit score sensitive. So why don't we change that? Because they can do that at the federal level. They can change those things at the federal level. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be credit score sensitive. You don't have to have a minimum 620 to get a mortgage.
Exactly.
You don't have to have all these things, right? And people say, well, that's why you have FHA. FHA is not credit score sensitive. Yeah, but you got to have credit.
Yep.
Right. So, I mean, when we start having these conversations, we need to have real conversations, and we can't always have real conversations because most times people aren't informed about how that industry works. I was fortunate to be in it for 7 years. Well, I say 10, but really 7. And I understand how it works, right? And it's really deceptive because again, they tell you FHA, VA, those loans you don't have to have good credit. Well,
Yeah,
that's not true.
Let me ask you a question. I don't mean to interrupt you. So if I wanted to know what a bank CRA number looked like, is that public information?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how you get to it now. I haven't looked at it.
I'm curious.
I'm gonna find it and I'll give it to you.
Okay,
'Cause I don't remember
because
how
I
you-
want to
how
start
you get to it
looking.
now. Yeah.
Oh, that might be something that Russ. I know you're listening, Russ.
Russ could probably do
That
Russ
might
could
be
probably
something
do
that
it.
Russ
Yeah.
could look up because I'm curious. Because that's the type of information
Yeah.
that you can make public and say, "Hey." Because remember, we talked about this. We talked about this, Robert, a couple of years ago on the show. I don't forget what was the context, but I remember us talking about
talked
this,
about community
and
reinvestment, yeah.
we were talking about somehow or another trying to make this obvious that or bring it to the light of day that what banks are actually doing in the community. Because if I remember correctly, the law, I'm going to go look it up. The law states that if they are not meeting that numbers, either they could be penalized or closed down.
Yeah, but again, it gives them several ways to meet their
That's
meet
fine.
their threshold.
But even if you're not meeting that number, and what you just stated, there are a couple of banks right here in Little Rock is not meeting that number, regardless of whatever threshold that they've got, the criteria to meet that threshold. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's how you start doing this. This is what.
I got to tell you what I love about your boy Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, when he became, I just remembered this. When he was president, he loosened those restrictions.
Good old Bill.
Good old Bill. That's why you gotta love him, right?
First black president.
All right, so check this out. Let me try to find it real quick. I'm gonna give you the quick just a quick overview of what it is. It went into effect in October 12th of 1977. And I'm trying to find I just want to read like the first. Can't even find it. Okay, here it is. Community Reinvestment Act of 1977. Congress enacted the Community Reinvestment Act of 1977 to encourage banks and thrift institutions to serve the convenience and needs of the communities in which they are chartered to do business, including low and moderate income communities, and to do so in a manner consistent with the safe and sound operations of such institutions. That word right there is really important. You got that, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. The CRA requires each federal bank regulator, including the Federal Reserve, to evaluate the extent to which banks address the credit needs of low to moderate income neighborhoods in the geographical markets. While research generally indicates the CRA has increased lending to low minority communities, the act has been a source of debate since its passage. Historic content for the CRA. Before the CRA, many banks did not market their lending products and financial services to low to moderate neighborhoods. This practice was known as redlining, a term many people attribute to the color-coded maps developed by the New Deal era homeowners loan corporation.
You know what? The more I think about that now, I get pissed off all over again at Obama.
Wow. I mean, nobody does it though.
But I understand
why would you
that.
Tangle with banks?
But that
you don't
was,
want to tangle with banks.
But in your lame duck session, you could have that one thing alone. If Obama would have attacked
if you
that,
put some teeth in it, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That one thing alone, had Obama attacked that, do you understand the changes that could have taken place?
If he could have changed this one line, see, because this one line is what makes it, is what gives them the freedom to just do whatever. Where's the one line at? Let me find it again. Okay, and to do so in a manner consistent with the safe and sound operations of such institutions. So they can say, hey, dude, you know what? Your deal ain't safe. We ain't doing it. Bada bing, bada boom. You with me?
I'm irritated all over again.
But that was Jimmy Carter's legislation, man. Jimmy Carter pushed that through.
I'm irritated
Well, he signed
all
it.
over again. So that was Camilla's. We don't have time for it. Well, we got about 10 minutes.
You want to do Pete? I got Pete
No,
on. I got Pete on.
I don't want to do him.
Come on, you got to do Pete, man. You can't leave Pete out.
No.
You got to do Pete.
No.
So who you want there? You don't want Pete?
Who else is left?
Let's go back.
Let's see. You got
You want to do the Amy chick?
Amy Klobuchar. No, I don't like the way she talks.
Okay. Andrew Yang.
I like Andrew Yang.
Okay, we're not doing him then.
I'm serious. I like Andrew
Okay, you
Yang.
want to do Andrew Yang? Let's
Yeah.
see if you still like him after this. Let's
Okay.
go.
I've
Let's
heard
go,
some
baby.
interesting things about Andrew
Let's
Yang.
go, baby.
In fact, Andrew Yang is proposing that your data is yours. It's immediately your intellectual property. So if it's posted on Facebook or anything like that, if they use it for any other purposes, you have to be paid. I like that.
Is he out?
Huh?
Is he out already?
What do you mean out? Not that I know of. You don't have to do Bloomberg's either. Mr. Stop and Frisk. I have sinned against thee.
You are sick.
That was his apology.
Take the pledge for humanity, Dave.
Okay, who's this one?
This is your boy Andrew Yang.
Okay.
All right, what you want to go to? What you want? Okay, let me give you the down and dirty, bro. What? Okay, that's just.
By the way, there is no truth to the rumor
Which one?
that the Beard is the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator. James Harden.
Dude, I'm done with you.
I just had to throw that. I tagged you on that one. Did you see that one?
No.
There's no truth to the rumor that James Harden is the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Because neither
Are you
one
ready-
of them
are you
played
ready for your boy
defense.
Andrew Yang?
Okay. He dropped 60 the other night, and everybody talking about how great he is. Boy, go play some D. Look, if I don't have to play defense and all I got to do is come down and shoot horse, I could drop 62. But anyway, I digress.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Andrew Yang, freedom dividend, Medicare for all, human-centered capitalism.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. Would you like to read it?
No, keep going.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you get. Those are three.
Okay, all right, so let's listen to human-centered capitalism. What is that?
Human-centered capitalism. I'm trying to get it to come up. His page is not very user-friendly, I must admit.
Okay, so he's done.
He's a man. Yeah.
I think he made his money in Silicon Valley. I believe that's correct.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, he should really be ashamed.
Yeah.
This page is horrible.
Yeah, can't trust him either.
Stop, man. That was your guy. He was your guy, though.
Well, I liked him for a minute. I think I done forgot about him now. I don't really like none of them, man. I'm going to be honest. It's kind of, I feel the same way about the state race here, where if I really had to take a vote, make my vote today, I'd probably vote for the young cat. Is that Lee Miller?
Yeah. Why would you vote for Lee?
Because he's young.
That's the only reason.
He has
He was
different
just as bad as the
ideas,
rest of them.
but at least he's young.
Did he know anything?
Yeah, he like I told you, he has a lot. When we get him on, you'll see he's got nice credentials. Okay, he's
Like
just
what?
I mean, he worked in the Obama campaign for years. I mean, he's done his work. But the point I'm saying is this: I'd probably vote for the young guy if I really had to right now. I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do, but because of the new ideas. I'm tired of
What new idea did he get?
I'm just saying the potential for new ideas. None of them gave any new ideas that night.
But how do you know? So you think he has new ideas?
I'm not saying I'm voting for him, Robert. Would you please
No,
listen to
Dave,
me?
I'm asking you a question. So you say
I
you
just
think he
want
has new
I want
ideas.
freshness. Okay.
So tomorrow we're gonna go and look at that page.
I want yeah. Let's do. That's a good
Let's see if they
idea.
have pages.
I want freshness. I don't want the same old. And what we're seeing across the country is that we might vote in a different person, but it's the same old. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
That's my
disagree.
point.
I just
So
think-
the only way to solve that problem is that, and I hate to say this, but if you're over 40, I'm probably not going to vote for you.
Yeah, that's rough.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
over 40 day.
You ain't running. You're a capitalist. Okay?
But I mean, I'm not gonna say that people over 40 can't. My thing is, I want the best prepared person. I don't really care about anything else. I don't really care about what you did back in the
The
day.
best prepared
I
person
want
to
the best
work
prepared
in this
person.
current system.
Yes, I want the
Well,
best
that means
prepared.
that they're corrupt.
No, when I say best prepared, Dave, I mean knowledgeable. I want you to be knowledgeable. And this is the thing. I just don't want you to be knowledgeable.
I want you to come in and turn over the apple cart.
I don't want you to turn over apple.
You
cart.
need to.
No, Dave. The thing is, I want you to figure out how to. I want you to figure. See, this is the thing we keep forgetting. These things are already in place, Dave. Let's just identify them
I
and put
agree.
some teeth to
But
it.
that's what I mean by turning over the apple cart.
Well-
take what's already in place.
But if
and
you are hearing these guys already, and they're not saying things like
Mm-hmm.
that, then they're not going to say things like that because they're not going to do the homework to find out what those things are. Because we as black folk, we just vote for them. Oh, you know what? I know I'm gonna vote for Robert Webb because my brother's cousin drank beer with him once. You know, I mean, that's the reason they vote for people.
I know.
That's crazy. We want to vote for somebody.
see, I would ask, what kind of beer, foreign or domestic?
Yeah, that makes a difference, though.
Yeah, because if
That
you're
makes a
drinking
difference.
foreign beer, I'd probably vote for you.
If he drinking, if he drinking, if he drinking those sexies,
You know, them canned beers with that aluminum taste?
or
No.
some red stripe, it's all good.
Yeah.
But I mean, the point is that we're not actually educating ourselves on the things. And when I say us, I mean candidates.
Mm-hmm.
They're not preparing themselves to go in and get things done. Because if anybody tells you they're going to go into some organization and make all these changes, they lying to you because they can't. Because more likely, they only got one vote. If they're going to be on the city board, they ain't got but one vote, right? On the city board, if they're on the city board, they might have 3 votes, maybe. If they're in the House, they might have 12 votes because you got 12, 13 black folks in the House. I think I can't remember the exact number now. If they're in the Senate, it's even less. You got 3, 4. So I mean, they're lying to you. So don't even believe the craziness. If they're not trying to identify laws that are already in place, and they're not trying to put teeth into those laws, then they full of it. And it's just the truth. I hate to say that. I hate to be like a Debbie Downer, but that's just the truth. They're not trying to put teeth in legislation that's already there. CRA is a great example of that. It's already there, right?
I agree.
It's already there.
I agree.
All you gotta do is strengthen it up. What do we do? So somebody says, what do we do to make this more painful for banks if they're not actually getting CRA, if they're not actually meeting the CRA threshold? How do we make it painful for them? Now, the thing is that if I remember what someone told me correctly, you have 3 years. So if you miss it 2 years in a row and you make it 1 year, that gives you a whole nother 3 years. I think it's 3 years or 5 years, one of them. So long as you make it 1 year, you get to start over.
Well, let's not do that. But again,
But that's what I'm talking about, by putting teeth into it. Let's say, you know what, if you don't make it 1 year, then there you go. So when you see black guys like Virgil Miller, when you see black guys when you see people working at banks and they have the vice president of what they call it, I can't think of what they call it, but I think that's what Frank was when he was at First Security. So when you see black people who are they are pretty much the Community Reinvestment Act person. Virgil Miller, Charles Stewart when he was at Regions. I'm trying to think who else is out
what
there.
they doing?
I don't know. But again,
What do you mean you don't know?
you have to go back and look. So this is the thing
Okay,
for me.
let me let you answer that question.
Okay.
Drive down Wright Avenue.
Yeah, but see, you got to remember too. Now, it's also about it's about getting loans, and the loans don't matter. It's not a threshold they have to meet,
I
like
know.
a threshold as far as. I don't think there's a monetary number. I don't think there's a number of people you have to have.
Well, that's where
I think there's a
putting teeth-
monetary number you have to meet.
Well, that's where putting teeth in it, where there should be a threshold you have to meet.
I think it has
in
to be like
certain
10%.
categories.
Or I think it has to be. I think I'm gonna say between 1% and 10% of
Well,
the
that's nothing.
of the bank's holdings. Well, pretty much 1 to 10% of the bank's holdings. So if you got a bank that's like a $30 billion bank, that's significant, man. That's like $300 million that you gotta give out in money.
So you would tend to believe that Regions Bank would be one of
$3
those
billion.
banks.
I'm sorry, huh?
You would tend to believe that the Regions Banks would be one of those, right? You would tend to believe that, what is the other?
Well, if you look at banks like Regions, because Regions are so broad and so large and they cover so much land,
Don't matter.
that
I know what you're about to say.
the bank overall will make their CRA numbers
No.
across the board. But
No,
hold on.
that should
They'll
not be
make
allowed.
their number across the board, right?
See, that's
But
that's the loophole.
But when you start breaking it down by states, they won't make their numbers.
Right.
And the thing is that they actually, most banks try to get their people to get those numbers up.
Right. So I was going to say that's the loophole, is that they might make it across the board, but that CRA should be effective state by state. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I think
Because-
it is.
because-
I think it is, but I'm just saying.
Right. Because you should not be able. Let's say you should not be able to go and make $100 million investment in California. Okay.
Well, I guarantee you, people are chopped at the bit to give money to our guy. Byron Allen. People are chopping at the bit to give him money because Byron Allen can help you see our numbers in a couple of weeks.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
So you got cats like that who are out there who are getting those loans, and you might not have people getting the smaller loans, right?
I agree. Good conversation. We need to stay on this, and because I'm curious. And Russ, if you're out there, how can we find out what the CRA numbers are? I'm going to try to do a little research tonight myself and see if I can find that out because I am curious. Because that's right, Robert, you're right on point. There's something already in place.
But that's the thing. We're not. That's why I said when we get these candidates who come up and start talking about what they want to do, we don't know enough to say, man, you talking about your behind.
Mm-hmm.
There's already this and this in place, right? And that's the same thing with the city board.
Yeah.
We don't know what's already there, so they can just reinforce it.
Good point. Good stuff. We got to go. It's called Black Focus Radio. You got your quote ready?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to give another. This is from the ISIS papers. This is page 151. The symbolism of smoking objects. This woman is deep, folks. The gun is a symbol in the white supremacy culture and system. Cannot be banned because it is the symbolic phallus substitute for the white male. The white male's penis and testicles genetically cannot annihilate black or other non-white males, but his gun can. Therefore, to ban the gun for the white male is to castrate him symbolically, to remove his defense mechanism for the ever-present threat of white genetic annihilation.
Jesus, man.
Because if you don't understand what white genetic annihilation is, Robert,
I get it.
it's real. That's what's going on in the minds of them right now. But anyway, that's my quote for today. I hope you like it.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Stop, Dave. My quote's a little different because I went to see Queen and Slim last night. This is my quote, okay? Black girls, don't be afraid to use your voice. Your thoughts, opinions, and ideas are just as important as anybody else's. When you speak, speak with boldness and purpose. Have courage, be confident, and always be true to yourself. Live your life fearlessly. Your voice is great power. Don't be afraid to utilize it when needed. You're not an angry black woman. You're a woman who has something important to say. Your voice matters, and so do you. Peace, my sisters. Love y'all. Spend money in your own community. If you don't, nobody else will. Peace.
See y'all tomorrow.
Listening to Black Focus, where we just choose when our
Yeah, we need to look into that CRA stuff now.
Join us
I don't think anyone is really paying attention to that. Y'all have a great day. I remember us distinctively talking about